provision for doubtful debts account. Provision for doubtful debts account. Debit side, credit side, isn't it? In the balance sheet, they are given very clearly about debtors. The balance sheet, they are given very clearly about debtors. Debtors amount is 45,000 rupees. Debtors 45,000 rupees. After deduct provision 5,000 rupees. Then 40,000 rupees is net debtor. Sundry debtor is 40,000 rupees, isn't it? As per balance sheet 31st March 2016. But now they have given some more information which is related to debtors and bad debts. First information is debtors of rupees 2,000 will be written off as bad debts. So from this 45,000, 2,000 rupees they are going to written off as bad debts, isn't it? So it's the first information about it. And the next information is, and provision of 5% on debtors for bad and doubtful debts will be maintained. So this provision for 5% on debtors is after deduct this 2,000 rupees from 45,000 rupees, amount will be 43,000 rupees. On this 43,000 rupees, 45,000 is actual debtor. Now we are going to deduct this 2,000 rupees. Then 43,000 rupees will be there. On this 43,000 rupees, 5% should be calculated for provision for doubtful debts. Provision for doubtful debts. So 43,000 on 5%, 43,000 amount rupees, 2,150 rupees. 2,150 rupees is the provision for doubtful debts. 5% on 43,000. So you should be very clear about it. Actual information is available in balance sheet is debtors 45,000, provision 5,000 rupees. After deduct provision money, net amount is 40,000 rupees are there. So now as per the information, first information is providing for bad debts, 2,000 rupees worthable debtors become bad. So we are going to write off. So from 45,000 only we should deduct that 2,000 rupees. The net amount will be 43,000 rupees. Then as per second information, 5% we should provide as a provision for bad and doubtful debts on this 43,000. After deduct 2,000 from 45,000, 43,000 on this 43,000, 5% we are going to take as bad and doubtful debts. It is DD, isn't it? Doubtful debts. Okay, are you clear about it? So now we are going to continue with the opening balance. Opening balance as per the information given in balance sheet is 5,000 rupees, isn't it? Okay, balance brought down from balance sheet, amount is 5,000 rupees. So you should write particulars amount, this and that. Okay, 5,000 rupees. It's the maximum amount which is entered in our balance sheet. 5,000 rupees as provision, isn't it? And new information in adjustments, whatever they are given, we are going to write over here in the debit side. First information is 2,000 rupees we are going to write off. That is provision for bad debts. Provision for bad debts we are going to deduct, isn't it? 2,000 rupees as per the first information, debtors of 2,000 rupees will be written off as bad debts. So it is the bad debts. Bad debts. How much amount? 2,000 rupees. Isn't it? 2,000 rupees will be deducted. First one is by balance brought down. 5,000 rupees actual information how much they have given in your balance sheet. And second one is bad debts 2,000 rupees. It's the first information. As per additional information, first information, debtors 2,000 rupees worthable debtors becomes bad. So bad debts 2,000 rupees. And second information is bad and doubtful debts 2,150 rupees. It's a provision. Provision for bad and doubtful debts. Doubtful debts, DD, isn't it? 2,150 rupees. So how this 2,150 rupees came? 45,000 rupees. As per the information given in your balance sheet, 45,000 rupees minus this 2000 rupees we are deducting. Then after deduct 2000 rupees, amount will be 43,000 rupees. On this 43,000 rupees, 5% is calculated. That 5% money is 2,150 rupees, isn't it? Do you have any doubt in it? Then we are going to balance both the side. Actually, as per previous year, to meet out future contingencies called bad and doubtful debts, 5,000 rupees as provision we have allotted, isn't it? But now actually what has happened? 4,150 only. Then remaining amount will be liability reduced, isn't it? Liability reduced means that will be entered in the credit side of revaluation account. You should keep it in mind. So 5,000 rupees actual liability will come like this we are expecting. But actually how much liabilities occurred during this year is to 4,150. So 850 rupees is a balance. What it is? Balance carried on. Balance carried on. This amount should goes to revaluation account credit side. Revaluation account credit side. 850 rupees. This is the balancing figure. And next account is revaluation account. Revaluation account. What is the meaning of revaluation account? This revaluation account is very useful to reassess the liabilities and revalue its assets. Revalue the assets and reassess the liabilities. You can write particulars amount. It's a debit side and it is credit side, isn't it? Then we are going to write with the help of additional information. We are going to compare actual information which is available in our balance sheet. First information is bad debtors, right? Debtors 2,000 rupees will be written off as bad debts as a provision. 5% on debtors for bad and doubtful debts will be maintained. So this is the first information which is given as the additional information in that problem. So we should consider it. With the help of this only we have prepared that provision for doubtful debts account. Then finally we came to know 850 rupees is imbalance. That amount is balance carried on balancing figure. So anyway liability is reduced 850 rupees. That 850 rupees we are going to write in the credit side of revaluation account. You know very well about revaluation account format. Debit side is favor for liability side, credit side favor for asset side. So now credit side we can write liability reduced, assets increased or unrecorded assets. Debit side we can enter liability increased, assets decreased and unrecorded liabilities like this. You know that. So now provision for bad debtors, provision for bad and doubtful debts. Finally we came to know how much? 850 rupees we have written in the credit side of revaluation account, isn't it? In the credit side of revaluation account. Then second information is patents will be completely written off and stock, machinery and building will be depreciated by 5%. So patents is completely written off as per the information given in the balance sheet. Patents money is patents. You know what's the meaning of patent? Patent is an intangible asset. Intangible asset. So patents value is 30,000 rupees from the down third item. It is a patent. Patent. Rupees 30,000. They have given as per balance sheet 30,000 rupees completely written off now. It is going to become zero now. So asset is reduced. How much rupees is reduced? How many rupees it is reduced? 30,000 rupees. So directly you can write in the debit side of revaluation account, because debit side assets decreased, liability increased will be written, isn't it? So assets decreased here. So patents. Patents how much? 30,000 rupees, isn't it? 30,000 rupees. And stock, machinery and building will be depreciated by 5%. Stock, machinery, building. How many percentage? Each 5%. Actual amount how much is available in our balance sheet for stock is from the beginning 1, 2, 3, 4th item. So that is 50,000 rupees. 50,000 rupees stock. 5% on 50,000 is reduced into 5 by 100. So around 2500 is reduced, isn't it? So 10% means 5000 will come. So 5%, 2500. Stock is reduced, which is asset is reduced. How many rupees is reduced? 2500 rupees. How much rupees is reduced? 2500 rupees for stock. And for building and machinery, for machinery amount is 1,50,000. So as per this information, 1,50,000 is machinery's amount. 5% is reduced. 5% on 1,50,000 is 10% means 15,000. So 7,500 rupees, isn't it? For machinery, how many rupees? 7,500 rupees. 7,500 rupees. And after machinery, stock, machinery and building, isn't it? Actual amount of building is 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh rupee building is depreciated now. 5%, isn't it? 5% on 1 lakh is 5,000 rupees. 5,000 rupees decreased. Asset is decreased. Building is a fixed assets. 5,000 rupees decreased. Are you clear about this? All the information what I am writing over here. And apart from that, next information, additional information you can read out. An unrecorded creditor of third information. It is an additional information about creditors. An unrecorded creditor of rupees 10,000 will be taken into account. So unrecorded liability it is. Unrecorded creditors. Unrecorded creditors. So creditor is increasing. Creditor is a great liability. 10,000 rupees worth of creditor. Increased, isn't it? So it is a liability increased. Then finally we are tallying both the side. 10,000. So you can write like this: 0, 0, 0, 1, because 2 5s are there. 3, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, 5, then 1, 4, 5, 55,000 rupees. So come here also 55,000 rupees. So debit side is more than the credit side now. 55,000 rupees minus 850 rupees. So 54,150 rupees. Who are the partners? M, N and G are partners in the partnership firm. They are sharing their profit and losses in the ratio of 5:3:2. Isn't it? Am I correct? 5:3:2 or 5:3:2? Yes, 5:3:2 only. So now 54,150 into 5 by 10 into 3 by 10 into 2 by 10. So 5 by 10 for partner M and 3 by 2 for 10 for partner N, 2 by 10 for partner G. For partner M, 27,075 rupees. 75 rupees. And for partner N, 16,245 rupees. And for partner G, 10,830 rupees. 10,830 rupees. So this is their share of loss, revaluation loss, because debit side is excess than the credit side, isn't it? Debit is for liability, so liability excess than assets. Like this we can consider. So it is a revaluation loss. Revaluation loss. Loss on revaluation should be transferred to partner's capital account debit side, isn't it? So now we are going to prepare partner's capital account, especially partner M's capital account, because M is the retiring partner. One who is retiring from the partnership firm is M. So now you know very clearly about revaluation account. Revaluation account loss is 54,150, and you know about that provision for doubtful debts account. In that account we came to know 850 rupees, isn't it? So now we are going to prepare what? Partner's capital account, especially retiring partner's capital account. Who is retiring partner here? Partner M is retiring. So M's capital account shall we prepare now? M's capital account. Capital account. It is the separate capital account for partner M. Separate capital account for partner M. So here we are not take the continuing partners N and G. So this capital account especially for partner M. So M's capital, actual amount, how much is available. Here you can write particulars amount. It is the debit side and it is the credit side. So first one, by balance, brought down from the balance sheet. So actually balance sheet shows information about very clearly how much rupees he have contributed to partnership firm is 1,50,000 rupees, isn't it? 1,50,000 rupees. It is his opening capital. How much he brought to the partnership firm? 1,50,000 rupees. And next, that balance sheet shows so many information which is related to general reserve. General reserve 30,000 rupees. General reserve rupees 30,000. So we are going to do calculation over here. General reserve rupees 30,000 is for entire firm. In that, his share of profit is 5/10, isn't it? So 15,000 rupees. Easily we can calculate. Anyway, half of the amount. So 15,000 rupees is general reserve for partner M. By general reserve 15,000 rupees, isn't it? And next one, after general reserve, what are the information is showing here? Just we can check it out one by one. Side cash, stock, machinery, patents, building. These all are assets. So about this, all the items we have discussed. And finally, profit and loss account. It is a loss. Profit and loss account. So it is a loss. What loss? It is net loss. Net loss will be distributed to all the partners as per their existing profit and loss account. Net loss. Net loss amount is how much? Net loss is 25,000 rupees. 25,000 rupees. 25,000 into 5/10. Around 12,500 rupees. 12,500 rupees. So we are going to debit because it's a partner's capital account. So net loss it is. Who should be our partner? M should be our amount rupees 12,500 rupees. So it is net loss. Amount rupees 12,500 rupees, isn't it? Then, apart from this information, any other information are there? The next one, revaluation loss. So revaluation loss should be distributed to all the partners, including retiring partner. So here we will prepare that existing profit and loss sharing ratio. So as per the existing profit and loss sharing ratio, that revaluation loss should be transferred. Revaluation loss should be distributed to all the partners as per their existing profit and loss sharing ratio. For partner M, a revaluation loss. Loss on revaluation, how much? 27,775. 27,075 rupees. Revaluation loss is 54,150 rupees. From that, M's share on revaluation loss is 27,075 rupees. 27,075 rupees. And apart from that, goodwill is there. Goodwill. Who is retiring? Partner M is retiring. Who are gaining? Partner N and G are gaining. Their gaining ratio is 1:4. Isn't it? So, goodwill contribution and everything. We have calculated already about goodwill. Actual amount of goodwill when he is retiring from the partnership firm is 3 lakh rupees. So, in that, as per the existing profit and loss sharing ratio, 5/10 on 3 lakh rupees is 1,50,000 rupees. So, this 1,50,000 rupees should be compensated by partner N and rupees going to compensated by partner N. 1,20,000 rupees should be compensated by partner G. So, now, goodwill is the gain for M's because M's contribution is inevitable. However, for the partnership firm's growth and the profit for everything, his contribution also there. So now we are valuing firm's goodwill is 3 lakh rupees. So N should compensate rupees 30,000 by N. N's goodwill contributed as per their, what is that? Gaining ratio. Amount is 30,000 by N. By another one partner. Who is that? By G. It is goodwill 1:4. So we can write like easily 1/5 contributed by partner N. contribute 4 by 5 contributed by partner G, that is around 1,20,000 rupees. 1,20,000 rupees. Now we are going to tally both the side. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 5. The next 2, 3, 5 plus 5, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3. 3,15,000 rupees. We are expecting 3,15,000 rupees here. Actual amount is around 5, 7, 5, 9, 3. 39,575 rupees minus 3,15,000. 3,15,000 rupees. How much it will come? 5. 10 we are borrowing 5. 9 minus 7 is equal to 2. Then 9 minus 5 is equal to 4. 4. 14 minus 9 is equal to 5. Then 0. 1 minus 3 is equal to 10 minus 3 is equal to 7. 2. 2,75,425 rupees. 2,75,425 rupees. Isn't it? So what amount it is? This amount should be settled by the partnership firm to M. So immediately the firm cannot settle. So this 2,75,425 rupees is transferred to M's loan account. M's loan account. Transfer to M's loan account.